Hey folks, aspiring engineer here. Figured I'd give a little end of the semester calculated conversation. So, in review, college work is tough, exams are hard, study hard for them because, well, when they whip out a real exam, it's kind of a real kick in the teeth when they whip out a real exam after having quizzes all semester long. I will say, I really enjoyed the computer aided modeling class, and all of my classes really, physics and calculus and whatnot, they were interesting. It's just really hard to jam pack all that in your brain for one exam. Speaking of modeling, I wanted to bring you over here and show you some of what I've been doing. So here's my next project. You can see more of it on my blog. Essentially, I'm testing two high-speed light-emitting diode pairs. One's an emitter, one's a receiver, but again, they're LEDs, so you can flip them if you'd really rather. The way these work, with the light side of it, the emitting side, I've got them wired forward. That is to say, electricity only goes the way it's supposed to through the diode. And this one's wired in reverse. They call it a reverse biased diode circuit. And when you talk about biasing, that's because of the doping they do in transistors and diodes that makes one side tend to fill up with negatives and one side to fill up with positives, and then that creates a barrier in the middle. That's how electricity only goes one way through these. So because I wired this in reverse, there's going to be a buildup of electricity on potential on one side of it, and it's going to be matched by the other side. But as soon as this light hits this diode, it's an LED, so it's going to convert that light into energy. And when it does that, there's going to be more voltage than before, and so it's going to push out a little current, and that little current is what I'm sending as a signal all the way back here, using a transistor to amplify it, and finally we get our signal on the Arduino way back here. I just thought it was a fun little segue into my next project. And speaking of CAD class, I did actually end up making a cool model. It looks really sweet because I used everything I learned in that class to make this, and then some. Unfortunately, well, you know how projects go. The first one never works. So learned a lot, and that's why I'm stepping it up a notch for this test here. Finally got my diodes working. You can read all about that though. That's about it for this time, short and sweet. One other update, it's never too early to start applying for internships. I applied to a whole bunch of them. I picked up a ton of interviewing skills that I can use next year and the year after that when the employers will actually take me seriously. So I'd recommend just getting out there, getting your foot in the water, and who knows, sometimes they have summer positions that are not internships that still need filling. That's all I have for now, so happy holidays, leave the stockings hanging, and save some cookies for me. This is the Aspiring Engineer.